Let's figure it out, though, later. I decisively turned and walked away. I mean, not the story. To my surprise, the pioneer did not even try to stop me. And yes, the moral of the story is pretty deep. I would hope so, because I put 50 hours into this game. I would hope for a deep story. And that's why I actually keep playing it, because the story is great. I returned to the cabin and found Yulya, carefully combing her tail. You were talking to him again. How do you know? For a moment I had doubts. Just guessed. He is supposed to appear when you're alone. I see. Yeah, he does. And? He told me that nobody disappears and that we come back. Yulya didn't answer anything. Is that so? To tell you the truth, I don't know. Is that really the truth, though? Is that really the truth? I sat in the bedside beside her, and began to think. I don't know how long we were sitting here, but soon I started to fall asleep. Let's go watch the stars. Yeah, let's just do it. I wanted to sleep badly, but at the same time I felt a sense of incompleteness and was hoping fresh air would clear my thoughts. You know, the fact that he wants to go to sleep, but he still continues to do whatever this thing asks her, makes me believe that Yulya herself is the form, and that she's just like, oh, boop, notification, do it. But I don't want to. No! Stay awake and do it! That's basically what Yulya's doing right now. Because it's like basically past midnight, and he continues to, okay. Okay. Well, this is a picture. There's cleavage in it. It's right there. Right in the middle. I don't even remember what I was saying anymore. What was I talking about? I don't know. I sat on the bench and Yulya put her head in my lap and stared at the sky. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. We sat in silence for quite a long time. So what will happen tomorrow? What do you mean? Well, tomorrow is the 7th day, so it's time to leave. Do you want to leave? Suddenly I was struck by a realization. I have heard this question many times before. According to you and him, even if you don't want to, I must. So let's leave. She smiled. Will you come with me? Well, that's innuendoous. Of course I will. After all this, you must definitely marry me. Okay? I feel weird and reluctant to marry you because of the realizations I've occurred to, but I'm just gonna go with it now. I don't know a single administration that would register marriages with cat girls. So, you'll look for one. Such very deep Cleve story. Lots of Cleve story. Okay, seriously though. Yeah, exactly. What will happen tomorrow? In the evening bus, will come. Lots of coming tonight. You sure about that? Absolutely sure. It always comes. Every single time. And, yeah, we'll take it. You can see oh, yeah, there is a panty shot. I'm pretty sure Twitch allows panty shots? I don't know. I know YouTube doesn't allow panty shots for some reason. Some, like, really, like, I remember people got, like, taken down off YouTube. Like, the creator of Yandere Simulator got taken down because, like, part of the game was, taking panty shots and selling them to someone. Meh. I don't know. I don't even know why she's wearing, like, clothes to begin with. She's a freaking Neko girl that lives in, like, the woods. I don't know. That's weird. And then, why are you asking all these stupid questions? You know you protested. How should I know? Well, make a guess. And we will go back to your world. That would be. I stopped. You'll see. I sighed. There's a lot of, like, few-word sentences, and it sounds really weird and choppy together. What would you and your many selves... many selves... I only look like this here, right? Over there, I'll just be a regular me. Oh, man! Gosh darn it! Oh, man! She won't be a Neko in reality! Ah! Could you imagine all the fetish, the appeasement that would happen if, like, she was a Neko in reality? That would be great! but apparently that's not the case. Yulya hit me painfully in the ribs. Hey, I'm just joking! Maybe without a tail. She said sadly. No, I like it. Don't think anything like that. She said nothing. Just closed her eyes. And what's it like over there? That's different. The best way I can put it, some things are better, some things are worse. Got internet. You see, just because he brings up internet the first thing, makes me realize that my assumption about forums was all correct. I chuckled. And what would I do there? Well, I don't know. Let's solve the problems as they come. So much coming tonight. Alright. Put a little like fade there. They sat there for a long time talking about all sorts of foolish things. You know, the fact that every single route I've gone down, aside from Yulya, because that would be weird because she's like a teenager, that would be pedophilia. Every single route, including Yulya, I've banged someone. So I mean, like the internet or forums could be like a lot of, you know, ecchi or sexual content that pulls people in forever. Yeah, that could be like a reference to that. Especially this little picture right here with the cleavage. I mean, look at that cleavage. And the panty shot. It's like the slight panty shot. And maybe if someone has like a foot fetish, maybe they're getting appeased by this. The world may never know. Except the foot fetish people. Then we sat there for a long time. Finally, Yulya said, "Let's go to sleep." Yeah. Good time. I felt the wave of terrible fatigue. Tomorrow was the time to pack our things. But I have nothing to pack. How about that? He has nothing to pack. But you know what? I have. For example, don't say the mushrooms you pack for the winter. I giggled good and naturedly. I just can't imagine what she's planning to take. What about my supplies for the winter? I knew it! Gosh darn it! I just called it. And how does Semyon not have STDs? Because since this game is probably based in forums, he probably just faps to different pictures of girls. So that's how he doesn't get STDs, he just faps. Or maybe he just, each reality's different. Well, but never know until it explains it. I doubt it will spend the time to explain why it doesn't have STDs, though. Do you really think it will need all that? Of course! Oh, don't look at me sternly. I'm going to sleep, and you can do whatever you want! What? She just leaves? Gosh darn it. Yulya, where are you going? But she marched briskly towards the camp leader's cabin. Hey, I didn't. I rushed after her. Hey? After entering the cabin, Yulya immediately undressed, got a blada, snuck into the bed and pulled the blanket over her head. That rhymed. I didn't mean anything like that. If you want to take your stories, let's take them. In the end, they could be useful for us, especially in my situation where anything could happen. What do the stores symbolize? It could mean that, like, stores, aka storage, or like pictures, videos, and stuff like that, and songs, or just whatever. He wants to have all that. He doesn't want to move on, or something. Like, in reality, you always have to have, like, your phone with you. It's kind of like that. Whenever he leaves, he must have his electronics with him. Not that he does leave his house at all, whatsoever. But if he did, he'd bring his phone with him or something. I don't know. But in the end, they could be useful for us. I was just joking. She peeked out from under the blanket and stuck out her tongue. And now, sleep. Commanded Yulya. Okay. I mean, it's been like an hour since the last time we even like brought up sleep. Well, like since the first time we brought up sleep. But now we're finally sleeping, so that's cool. And I undressed, of course, because yeah, we lay down beside her. We're holding each other. Stores equal STDs? I'm pretty sure that's not what it means. Oh. This is not good music, but I figured something bad would happen in the morning. Anyways, I had a strange dream. Is it the strawberry rowing a boat dream? Maybe. No, of course, being here in this camp was extremely strange by itself, and incomparable with any normal nighttime dreams. However, in this dream, everything seemed so real that... But when I woke up, I couldn't remember a thing. Oh, really? Okay, I guess we'll never know about his adventures with him rowing a boat against some angry strawberries. There were only vague images of a long driveway, an old rusted bus, the rickety gates of the camp, collapsed statues of pioneers, and a abandoned square. I ran through Sylvanite back and forth as if trying to find someone. Okay, for someone who forgot entirety of their memory, like the dream, you know quite a bit about it, but exactly remained a mystery to me. When I woke up, the sun was already setting. The bright sunbeam was lighting up a dust, drifting in the silence of the room and painting it with all colors of the rainbow. Reflection on the glass took on different outlines. Look from one angle, and just a spot of sunlight. Look from another, it's a pirate waving at a cutlass. Cool imagination. I stretched lazily and yawned. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Turning to the other side, I saw Yulya sleeping peacefully next to me. Good morning, said Yulya without opening her eyes. It's daytime already. That's usually when people wake up. You're talking just the same way I did before. So now you've changed your mind? Well, I don't know. During the last week I got used to this getting up in the morning. That was not entirely true, because I didn't always wake up with the sunrise and regularly missed the lineups. You wanna say that you've changed? She giggled. I think any man in my position would change, at least a little. It seemed quite natural to me. Yeah, perhaps. I won't argue. The long silence followed. The kind of silence where you are not tortured by the need to say something just to break an oppressive awkwardness. The silence could say there's a car driving by with any words. Well, even today. Are we? I guess finally. I think so, yeah. That makes sense. You think? You mean you're not even sure? Not completely. This is happening for the first time in forever. You mean the disappearance of the pioneers? That could be a movie. The disappearance of Harahi pioneers. Cool. Not just that. She got out of bed and started to dress. I looked at her mesmerized, unable to look away. I'm sure that if I had the hentai patch in right now, there would be a naked Yulya in front of me. But now she's dressed. What are you looking at? Get up, it's time to pack. Mean your berries and mushrooms? Of course. She looks angry. Yulya stood arms akimbo and looked at me resentfully. Do you want all my supplies to be gone? No. I want you to keep them, your berries and mushrooms. To tell the truth, I don't care. To be precise, I just don't see the point in stocking food for a one-day journey. At least without a return ticket for sure. A few minutes later, we were standing in the same forest glade where the day before Yulya had been sprinkling a mushroom with sugar. She went behind the tree, threw aside the leaves, and pulled out a heavy sack. All this. This isn't all. This is just what's necessary. I could put what I planned to say in a nice way, so I decided to say nothing. I couldn't do it. I could not put it in a nice way. The sack was filled with mushrooms, berries, apples, and nuts, all mixed up together. I immediately had serious doubts about the fitness for human consumption of this assorted lot. Take it, she said, pointing a sack with an easy smile. Well, I hope you understand that I won't be able to. No, you're strong. Look how massive you are. She used her hands to indicate the difference in our heights. Cool. I tried to lift the sack. It weighed at least 30 kilos. Is that a lot? Is that a lot of kilos? I don't know how much a kilo is, but I assume it's probably a lot. Look, let's just take some of it. We won't be able to eat all this anyway. She's gonna get angry. I was trying to cheat. Why not? Winters are long in these lands. How would you know that? I guessed. What's the point of even stocking up food if you don't even live in winter? You live in the summer. Like, not only is winter 6 months from now, but you only relive the same week over again. Do you ever get to eat this stuff? Like, do you just like pile it up for fun? It's like I don't have anything else to do, so let's just pile up a bunch of mushrooms that'll go away in a week. I don't understand. I tried to make the most painful grimace I could. I can manage it to the square at most. I have mercy on my soul. Yulya thought a little. Okay, then let's start the berries. But don't berries not weigh that much? I don't know. What a great solution. Get rid of the list? Yeah, exactly. However, I didn't object, so I put my hand to the sack. I can't say it got any lighter. I said when I finished with the berries. I don't want to hear it. I sighed and sank helplessly to the ground next to the sack. Now let's carry it in turns. Yeah. Gosh darn it, Yulya! I know it's heavy! Exclaimed Yulya. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, it's heavy for me. As if it's light for me! I muttered under my breath, trying to make Yulya not hear it. It's light for you. It seems I should not underestimate her cat ears. Only her cat ears. Okay. Okay, well, let's go back here later. For now, it could be nice having something to eat. Maybe. She smiled and held out her hand to me. Okay. Looks like we made it. Looks like we brought everything to the canteen in like a split second. The canteen was filled with the smell of fried potatoes. Why? Though you flitted around me, watching me. Okay, that's why. To tell the truth, I never found any special pleasure in doing this. I'd hope you wouldn't have a fetish for cooking mashed potatoes or something. That'd be weird, but I'm sure there's a fetish for it out there. It's like the smell of mashed potatoes or like peeling them gets someone off. I mean, there's always a fetish for everything, right? Probably. I always wanted to start eating immediately, without waiting for all the ingredients to be prepared. The water to boil, the dumplings to float up. That's why I'm usually fine with eating sandwiches or fast food. You're doing so well. I told you there's nothing special to it. So do you pre-cook these and like store them for the winter later so you don't have to cook them? I'm pretty sure that's not how potatoes work. But you tried to find words. Oh, so they're just like having a bit of break and just like cooking them. Okay, that makes sense. You're doing well. I'm glad you like it. Of course I do. I never understand, what is the point of those freaking little flashes? That's so weird. Judging by the way Yulya was demolishing the potatoes, she actually enjoyed my simple culinary creation. Are you worried? Chew first, and then speak. What a lout! What in the world is a lout? I don't know. Chat, you have a job! Find out what a lout is. You must behave in polite society. What kind of society are we in here? Yulya spread her hands to the sides and laughed. That was true, the canteen was empty. And apparently the fact that people have a food fetish is true. Because there's a complete live stream area where people can just like stream eating food and people watch that. Weird. Just like the whole camp. What do you think? Where are they all gone to? How should I know? She picked up the last piece with her fork and deftly popped it into her mouth. Yum. You missed them. Sort of. What about me? I am better than any stray dog. Another quote. Well, apparently, she knows a lot of quotes that she doesn't realize she knows. I didn't pay any special attention to it this time. Given that you're some kind of cat, you definitely got your quotes right. But you said you didn't give any thought to it. You did. You gave thought to it. You're not supposed to do that. Are you feeling lonely? Well, I'm not alone here. Just the two of us. It's just the two of us. That's a Phineas and Ferb song. Screw it. Let's go with it. But whatever happened didn't happen, maybe. Let's stop for a moment. So in other realities, you and me weren't so, close? Yeah, you finished for me. Yeah. No. Okay, good. I thought, like, all the other Semyons would bang this girl as well. That'd be weird. That's how you get STDs. But I mean, if you banged someone that you've already banged, that doesn't give you STDs, right? I'm pretty sure. It's strange. Indeed, Semyon. Indeed. Why? Well, because there are a lot of camps, as you say, and according to the theory of probability, which means that everything that happened within the last 2 days is really something exceptional. You say that as if it's bad. Of course not! I thought the blood rushed to my head, not the rush blood to my head. Just strange. There are lots of strange things here. That's why I use that word so often. Anyway, you're just nitpicking. Oh, me? I never! She laughed. No. No! You're nitpicking. Especially when it comes to words! Why would I do that? I can't even imagine. You know better! Seems like for any of my arguments, she already had an answer prepared, as if she knew in advance what I would say. She is a grammar Nazi at heart. Like in the term of form talk, she is a grammar Nazi. Forget it. Let's just go. Where? I realized that saying this was a big mistake. Now she'll definitely drive me back to the sack. Well, there's enough time till the bus arrives, so we could. Alright, this applies. I just scratched my chin and followed her. Epic fail. And yeah, I realized that STDs are from, like, you know, someone who already has an STD. I understand that, but, like, I was thinking that, like, all the other me's wouldn't have the like, they'd have the same STDs that I have, or they would have no STDs, and I would still have no STDs. So, like, if all of them banged her already, and I banged her, I would be safe. I believe. Unless they had some sort of STD from banging, like, Lena or something. But I've banged, like, 6 girls now. 4 girls. Well, 5 girls. If you count, Yulya, and not Ulyana, because that would be weird. Dots. Carrying nearly 25 kilos is not easy. Even for a short distance. I stopped every 50 meters to rest. Yulya hurried and encouraged me, but it was just making things worse. I don't know if I deserved a medal in some strange sack of cat girl supply short distance carrying event. That's very specific. But an hour later, the sack was transported to the bus stop. I collapsed beside it and died. That's it. You're such a hero! See, nothing to be afraid of. My whole body ached, my muscles burned, the rivers of sweat flowed from my forehead, stinging my eyes. They each represent an STD? Oh, wow! Man, that's a deep story, I tell you what. I don't know what reward was owed for this, but this competition is more like the Olympics for mentally challenged people. But I won. I'm still a retard. Look, the bus is coming. Bus. Huh? I jumped up, my fatigue vanished in an instant. Something could indeed be seen in the distance. I narrowed my eyes and saw the Icarus. But why? Yulya told me that it would arrive closer to the night. Moreover, I'd expected the Liaz bus. Oh hey. You got here fast. You didn't even drive in, you just blooped. Cool. Soon the bus stopped in front of us and the door opened inviting us in. The driver's seat was empty, but I was not really surprised. Much stranger things have happened here. You coming? Sure. Yulya easily jumped into the first step and gestured me to follow her. Don't you think it's weird that buses go by themselves? Yeah. Yeah. She thought about that. Of course it's strange. But you said yourself that there are plenty of strange things here. Nah, I enjoy the strange things in life. Let's just jump into this self-autopilot bus to another dimension. I like it. Anyway, I had no choice. In either case, whether I stay or whether I go on this bus, I'm not sure about what will come next. But in the case of the second choice, I had at least an illusory hope of escape from this camp. I sighed, and with one last effort I lifted the sack and got onto the bus. Nuts. We drove for about an hour. Yulya was constantly chattering about something, but she's the only other person on the bus, and he's just not even listening to her. Just started it. I mean, it's already one of those relationships, isn't it? I carefully studied the passing landscapes through the window. Forest fields, river, forest fields, absolutely nothing suspicious! On the one hand, this gave me some hope, but on the other, it was a sign that in the end nothing would change, because in this world it seems everything is slow and measured, following its well-established rules. That's how it was at least a few days ago. Although maybe I shouldn't be drawing conclusions after having been there only a week. Hey! I'm sure everything will be fine. I looked at her carefully. Cat ears, long tail, moved rhythmically back and forth, slightly enlarged fangs. Yulya seems like a character from a fairy tale. Yeah, I know, right? She's like the dream girl. Man, there needs to be Neckos in real life. That'd be great. We can decide what to do with her in the real world later. I was turning into one big throbbing vein. Oh man, well said. Well said. I was waiting for how this will end. The result could be anything. For me, it was important not to go crazy ahead of time. My nerves were stretched to the limit, and I tried not to think about anything. It was impossible to distract myself. Hey, what are you listening? Are you even doing that? No, I was deep in thought. Well, as always, she pouted. Now is such a big moment, you know. We can get out. Get out of this camp. It's a very important moment to me. Well, it's important for me too, but I'm not worried. You simply can't see this in context. What do you mean? Before I lived in a different world, the real one as it seemed. So I have something to compare this camp to. And you, we can say, were born here. Give me a second. Let me reread that to understand. Okay, yeah. He's finally realizing about his former life. Cool! No, I wasn't. How do you know? I just don't. I know it. So, I'm gonna break away from Yulya, aren't I? She's not gonna come back to reality with me. That's... I figured it was gonna be this way. Let's go with it. The bus peacefully bounced over the bump, shaking me more and more. The steering wheel was turning on its own, and soon I stopped noticing the absence of a driver. My eyes began to close, and I dozed off, and he's gonna appear in his room now, isn't he? Some girl bent over me. She was gently whispering something in my ear. So tenderly, then. Oh, okay. Apparently I'm not waking up in my room. I'm waking up in some weird bus still. But I got punched in the head. Hey, don't sleep! Don't do it! Am I disturbing you? Am I doing that? I asked in annoyance, rubbing the bruised place. You're not listening to me! If we escape from here, we'll have lots of time for convention. If we don't escape, then we'll have even more time. I tried to smile, but just thinking that we wouldn't ever leave this camp frightened me a lot, so I just gave a stupid grin. Yep, she definitely has something to do with my lifestyle, well, Semyon's lifestyle. She really does not want me to leave here. Like, she obviously knows that once I fall asleep, I will be going to the other world, so she does not want that. This is kind of like my transition to going back to reality, like going away from internet. But she's like, no! Stay in the internet! Stay here! I'm like, no! I want to go back, and no! It's like an internal fight. I'd say that Yulya is kind of my subconscious stuff. I will, I promise. 100% seriously. Sincerely? I don't know. Let's go with it. Really, truly? Really, truly? You leaned against me. And you'll listen to me? Of course. And you always... No? Okay, apparently that's a yes. She pulled away and looked into my eyes. Well then, I forgive you. A loud laugh filled the bus cabin. But be careful. Don't you forget about that. Don't try to deceive me. Want to sign a contract? A marriage contract? Winky face. I don't have the property for that anyway. But I do. You point at the bag lying in the aisle. Well then. Try to remember what I bought with my money. Here. I took my mobile phone out of my pocket. I am surprised that thing... Oh, okay, never mind. It was out of charge. What is that? You asked curiously, taking the mobile. Okay, that makes sense. A very useful thing in my world. You can communicate with people at a distance. Wow, that is sugoi! Excelente, that'll do. She put the mobile on the seat. It's weird that he refers it to as a mobile. I just call it a cell phone. The deal then? My supplies for the winter are coming from me and from you. Is that a thing? Okay, deal. Alright, now we are husband and wifey. She smiled slyly. Hey, wait. I suddenly remember that all this conversation had started with a marriage contract. Gosh darn it, it's like Chunibya all over again. It's gonna be a marriage contract. Anyway, without an official registration. When we get to your will, we register our marriage. A man without a wife is like a kitchen without a knife. It rhymes. If we get there, of course. I just stared straight forward with her eyes wide open. Something happening? Oh, something is definitely happening.